Adrian Griffin, right? Long time assistant in the NBA, former player in the NBA. Been in 1,000 interviews. Eric Griffin before this year was like the Eric Bieniemy, in my opinion, of the NBA. Couldn't get a fucking job, couldn't get a head coaching job. Applied for 1,000 coaching jobs, no one would give him a shot. So Bucks give him a shot, right? Everyone's like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Recently he gets fired. Now, but you think, okay, a rookie coach gets fired. Okay, we've seen this movie before, right? But here's the twist, right? When's the last coach got fired with a 30-13 record, right?
Shit, that's 70%, 70% win share.
Yo, they're second in the East, bro, and
Right.
they were first at one point.
Yeah, they won 70% of their games.
They won 70% again, and I'm gonna go to you guys in a second, but I just want to say this. But when you peel the layers back a little bit, right, you start to see like what Rick Ross say that Mayweather money looking funny in the light, the nigga started looking a little funny in the light. You kind of seen the cracks in the armor, and when I don't know if you guys remember, there was a game when Giannis didn't want to sub out. He refused to fucking sub out. He did that shit on national fucking television. You know what I'm saying? Balked on Griffin. You know what I'm saying? Right then and there. If you don't have the support of your superstar, you're maybe the best player in the NBA at this point right now, arguably. Right? It's between the handful of guys you can say that about. He's definitely one of them, right? Some will say the Joker. Some say Giannis. Some say Embiid. Those are like the guys that come to mind, right? Cracks in the armor with him. They reports that they didn't get along. Like I said, not wanting to sub out the game. Terry Slots, who was, former coach with Dame in the Blazers, but he was, a Dame guy. He gets hired. There was rumblings of him and Griffin beefing in practice. I heard some story like Stotts was talking to Dame and a couple of the players. And Stotts is liked by the players. So talking to Dame and a couple of the players, and Griffin barks on him in front of everybody, saying, "Get over here when the coaches meeting." When he's like, "Hold on a second," and he barks on him again. So he steps down. Now Terry Stotts is a well-respected guy. So boom, another crack in the armor, right? Now Bucks went from the fourth best defense last year, right? On a thread, we said this. Remember, I was like, I'm not surprised yesterday. You said, "Oh, such and such got fired. Adrian Griffin got fired." I'm like, I'm not surprised that defense was suffering. You heard the rumblings. Bucks went from fourth. And I believe the 21st, not Ed, you could probably verify this, but at one point they were 25th, bottom of the league in defense. Giannis called them out.
This was after the whole in-season tournament meltdown.
Right. Basically said something to the fact where we got to be coached better, we have to defend better, we need better strategy. Now, who else could he be talking about? The head coach. Here's my question to you guys. Doc Rivers, I don't want to say I love Doc Rivers, because I don't love anybody that ain't a Nick right now. You know what I'm saying? Doc Rivers is a championship winning coach, but he's also king of blowing 3-1 leads, right? I thought he found a home in the broadcast booth with Doris Burke and all them. Not sure why the Bucks bring back Doc Rivers at this point. I don't, he had the Clippers, and I'm being a little long-winded, and I'm gonna give it to you guys. He had the Clippers, Lob City, couldn't bring them over the hump. Ty Lue steps in there. Boom. First fucking year, the motherfuckers is in the conference finals. You know what I'm saying? Found a way for Kawhi and all them to coexist. Then he goes to the Sixers, dysfunctional. Had James Harden, had problems with James Harden, right? Beefing. James Harden leaves the Sixers, goes to the Clippers, and fits it seamlessly. I'm not saying Doc's a bad coach. Doc's had a rough last couple of years.
Decades.
Ed, were you surprised at the firing of this guy? And do you like the Doc Rivers potential? Did he sign yet?
Yes, he's a coach.
Okay, do you like the potential the Doc Rivers signing?
My thing is that it shocked me. It shocked me like it shocked everybody else because, like I said, he won 70% of the games. That's 696%. They 30-13, second in the East. So I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing now. We're firing winning coaches now. Like that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're doing. Like really is. So that's why I was shocked. I get it, bringing in a guy, big star name like Doc Rivers, who has coach star power like Giannis and Dame, like has coached big twos, big threes, big fours, whatever the hell you wanna call it. He's a big name, big star coach. So I feel like he could control the locker room. That's one thing Adrian Griffin lost. He lost the locker room. That's what they've been saying. Giannis, like you said, if your star player is out there coaching your team for you. Like I don't know if y'all saw the Heat game. There was a Heat game that he was coaching the team. he was like really negating what Griffin was saying. He's like, no, we do this, do that, da, 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 da. You know, you lost your locker room when your star player, you know, has the respect of the guys better than you do. You know what I mean? So, you know, like that he said, Terry Slott stepping down as a Dame dude, you could see the cracks coming down. What was another one? I saw that. I saw the. You just mentioned it, Cash. There was a game, I think, against the Hawks that you could see that they were like arguing.
Yeah. When he refused to get subbed out.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was a game that they were up by like 20 and they lost by like 10. You know what I mean? So you could see Giannis being frustrated, the whole meltdown with everybody thought they were going to run away with the in-season tournament, blah, 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 blah. So you see it. But
Paces lighting them up.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Over and over again. Yeah.
My initial reaction was, like I said, I was shocked because I'm like, come on, the dude is winning games. But you know, now we're in the NBA. Now there's that if you don't respect your coach, you out of there, man. That's the league we're in. It's all about the players now. So if you got your star player and he's the one leading the march and everybody else is following suit, bye. You know, on to the next one. I feel like Doc Rivers might, like you just said, Doc Rivers had a tough outing plenty of years. The only time he didn't was when he had the 08 Celtics, but he's coached the Magic with Tracy McGrady. He's coached the Clippers, you know, Lob City. Recently, you had Giannis. I mean, not Giannis. You had Embiid in them. You know what I mean? So I want to see how this is going to work because of Doc Rivers' track history. But I'm like, damn, they should at least let Adrian Griffin finish off the season, man. That's, you know, let's just finish off the season.
Like Mark Jackson.
Oh wow, that's a big name drop.
That Mark Jackson drum.
But ain't nobody get Mark Jackson, man.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson out of here, man.
Yeah, he's blackballed, bro. As much as we don't want to talk about it, he's been blackballed from the league.
Ain't enough for Mark. He's one of us. Stop playing. Especially.
Yeah, but you know, like even though he was a winning coach this year, I'm really not surprised, man, because I think as a Bucks organization, they just made a very big statement. I don't care if you're winning, but if you ain't got the players, you out of here. I don't care if it's midseason, the first couple of weeks. They got somebody in there because it just goes to show that they know that they have enough star power to get to the finals, but they got to get there too. And you need some good coaching because as much as Giannis is a great player, he can't coach a team as well. You know, like and I think Doc Rivers, it's going to be a shoo-in because you know he's already going to come in there with his head held high and the respect of the players. You know, so I you know, like he's a rookie dude. It's just like when you get a brand new job and you're the boss. You know, your team is gonna push you. You know, and you got to be able to push back and get them to fall in line because as soon as they running all over you, they're not going to play for you, and the organization is going to do something about it. You know, they don't just want to win the games; they got to win the important games, which is in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's what the GM said too. The Bucks GM, he says that's what led ultimately to the firing, the urgency to win. And I'm like, but you guys are winning though, like. But I get it. In the long run, it's the playoffs that count. It's not the season because last year they were the number 1 seed and they lost in the first round to the Heat. So you know what I mean. That's what they let go of Budenholzer. And I thought Budenholzer was a crazy firing for the Bucks because he won a championship with them, and he's a well-established coach too. And I'm like, what are they doing over there? But
also look at Nick Nurse. He comes at dysfunction with Doc Rivers with the Sixers. Nick Nurse comes in and got them balling right now.
Balling.
Bad on Doc. I'm not going